Good morning, friends and family. John Miller, your Lake Stevens Realtor, coming at you on a rainy Memorial Day here in the Northwest. It's Memorial Day and it rains on Memorial Day for some reason here. So, anyway, day 61 of our coronavirus lockdown. Brief coronavirus update. We will probably not meet Snohomish County will probably not meet the criteria for going into phase 2 next week, which is very disappointing to everyone who lives here. That would have been on June 1st. Obviously, we will keep you posted as to our progress in that regard, because that will affect the opening of our office and everybody else's real estate office. That we were kind of counting on that for the resurgence of the real estate market here in the Northwest. Either way, interest rates 3.24%, been very steady there in the low threes. Again, if you have any question about lending or financing or looking to refi and you need a referral for a lender, just let me know and be happy to get you that information. Today's question comes out of Bothell, Washington, and the question is about final walkthroughs. Are they, do I have the right to do them? Should I do them? And those are good questions, and generally it's a good idea, and I generally recommend it. It's generally done right before signing as opposed to closing. And that kind of brings us into another question about the escrow process. Washington State is an escrow state as opposed to a roundtable state. West or east of the Mississippi, most states use a roundtable closing, where all the parties, the buyer, the seller, attorneys meet roundtable. The money is exchanged, the keys are exchanged. That's done on the day of closing. Here, west of the Mississippi, we do an escrow process. Signing is done individually. Buyer and seller sign at different times, and it's generally done about 2 or 3 days prior to closing. It is done many times a day before, or even the same day. Although that is very rare. So there is always that window where you could do a walkthrough and then a problem arises. I've seen that happen more than once. It can be very frustrating. Either way, the buyer does have a contractual right to do a final walkthrough, primarily to see if if the property is still in the same condition that it was from the first day he saw it, to confirm that if all the inspection repairs have been done and done effectively and to standards. One of the things I do when I'm putting an offer together is I try to negotiate any inspection repairs to be done 10 days prior to closing, which gives you plenty of time to set up that time to go and do a walkthrough. Obviously, the problems are there's still that window between signing and closing where the seller may still be moving out. There may be damage during that time. I've seen both those things happen. It just leaves a window for problems. There's always that small window where that could be a problem, and unfortunately, there's really no solution to it. Obviously, doing a final walkthrough will give you some level of assurance that everything is moving in the direction it should. The only power you have if the seller has not performed, hasn't done inspection repairs, or has damaged the property at that stage, is basically to refuse to sign. Obviously, there is a lot of negotiations, and the agents usually try to work together to try to encourage the seller to effect repairs and move out in a timely fashion. But unfortunately, from the buyer's standpoint, that's really the only power they have, is say, no, the seller hasn't performed, I'm not going to sign with the property in this condition. Either way, if you have any questions regarding that, give me a call. Regardless of where you are, we love you. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next week. Bye.